Hello guys, welcome back to another video Blue Lock, and once again thank you guys for your patience. If you guys continue to put out comments, we promise we'll dish out the videos more in correspondence to the demand for it. But in any case guys, another episode 23. Kobayashi, go ahead and take it off for us.
Yeah, so in this episode, basically in the beginning, it just recaps of how Isagi blocked Bachira's shot. So Isagi just basically believed in Bachira and believed that he would actually go through the defenders. And Rin was actually really surprised that Isagi saw it, because Rin pretty much predicts everything, but he didn't predict this moment. He thought that Bachira was going to pass it to Rin, like always.
Yeah, I mean, which is also understandable, because if you guys remember from the last episode, Isagi had this like breakthrough that the only person that Rin can't read is Bachira. And then obviously the only one who can read him is Isagi.
Yep. And yeah, so Isagi blocks the shot. But the shot, the narrator said if Isagi was just blocked it like a little bit more to the left or a little bit more to the right, the outcome of the match would change. But since he didn't, the ball perfectly placed it to Rin's like area, and he just like volleyed it home. And Rin's team won 5-4. And yeah, well, were you surprised by the result?
No, to be quite honest, I wasn't surprised by the result. I was just surprised about the duration of the result. I thought, because it was like, I'm pretty sure you guys watched this episode, you guys would want to hear our critique about it. But realistically, it was like really quick.
Yeah, it was really quick. It
was like
much,
within like the first 5 minutes. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I thought it was gonna be like a whole like development for him, but I knew that the other team were gonna win.
Yeah, I knew they were gonna win too. I thought it would be more in the middle of the episode, but
yeah, like we were saying, it was super quick. Obviously, at that point, they were just figuring out who they should take. And I think they were narrowing it down, right? They were like, who should we pick?
Yeah, so Ryu, and we keep on forgetting the guy's name, but
yeah,
the swole guy.
Yeah.
The swole guy, yeah. So they're like, oh, are we gonna pick again?
Yeah.
And then Bachira's like, no, let me pick this time.
Yeah.
But Rin,
I think everyone had like different. They were dead set on different outcomes too. I'm pretty sure that.
No, everyone had the same, but Ryu also said.
Yeah, he would have picked him too.
Yeah, but basically Rin took the initiative. He's like, no, shut up, I'll pick. And he chose Isagi.
Yeah. And obviously he explained it. He was like, the only reason I'm picking you is because you saw it before me, and now.
Basically, he felt defeated in that moment.
Yeah.
Even though he won, but yeah. So yep. Yeah, they advanced, but right before they advanced, Isagi went to go say like, I'm sorry for letting you guys down, or not letting you guys down, but like, I'm sorry, this has
to be the outcome.
Yeah. And then basically they're like, shut up, Isagi, just go ahead. They chose you.
Yeah. Basically they were just saying, leave before I start hating.
Yeah.
That's really what was just going on. You know what I mean?
But you know, Tifa, I did like that Chigiri, Nagi, Baru, and Isagi team. That was a really good team in my opinion. That was really good. But it was a little bit too short of Rin, Rin and everybody else.
Yeah. Now that's where it comes to like I wouldn't necessarily call. No, I'm gonna say it because it's just really what it is. It was sort of like the dead space, because it was just pretty much explaining how like Isagi said, oh, it was luck how you got there, and
no, it's because Isagi, he asked Rin, how come I couldn't beat you this time? And Rin's like, even a monkey knows this. It was luck. He's like, but how can you calculate luck? And then pretty much Ego just explains it.
Yeah. And the entire monologue, it wasn't really nothing too crazy. It was just basically explaining how luck and like the probability. Like I'm pretty sure it reminds me sort of like the Dennis Rodman video. I don't know why I'm bringing up basketball. No, I understand why I'm bringing it up. But you remember how Dennis Rodman was explaining like, oh, the rotation of the ball, it'll land this way because of the way the person shoots. It's just sort of the same thing like with revolutions. So say someone were to strike it with power, it'll rebuttal depending on where the goalkeeper just ends up punching it out. It just really depends. But
no, but basically what I got from Ego, he's saying Rin's goal wasn't luck. It was just him not giving up on the play, because he said like the others all gave up on the play. They started decelerating.
Oh.
While Isagi and Rin, they kept on pushing forward.
So that means in the finals he's going against the bald monk guy. Just kidding. Huh? You remember the bald monk guy?
Yeah, I know. Igarashi, that's his name. But what do you mean in the finals?
Because he tries hard.
I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
So I mean,
but not to spoil anything, but we're gonna see the other 6 teams that advance. Obviously, one of them is gonna be the Nagi team, the Nagi Shigiri. I want to see Malcolm's reaction to who else they pick up, because there's gonna be 2 other members.
Yeah.
joining.
For you guys who don't know, like besides the Swole guy, like my favorite from the like original squad was actually Gagamaru, because he was like.
Oh yeah, you like Gagamaru, yeah.
Yeah, Gagamaru is really cool to me. He's just like obviously.
We shall see if he advances or not. I mean,
I
I already know who advances, so I won't be entertained. But I just want to see Malcolm's reaction to who advances and who actually not advances, because there are some like.
Oh yeah, really quick, guys. We would love to do a live reaction to this, because I talk a lot during films, and I really like to give my reaction to it. But obviously, we never show our faces, so that's really out of the picture. Because it is going to be. You said this is going to be the last episode.
Last episode, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll try to dish out these videos in time, and hopefully by it comes to 24. If we could do a live reaction, but realistically speaking, we're both still in our actual job, so the probability of that is kind of slim pickings, if I'm being honest. But either way, stay tuned. We'll probably do an upload a lot earlier than normal, to be quite honest. But anyways, go ahead and continue.
I forgot what I was saying, but let's just move on to the World 5.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before the World 5, there's this funny little bit of like Isagi copying Rin's yoga like routine.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Like I said, pretty much this entire spot was like Dead Space, which I understand, right?
Because you can't always have like
just pure action.
You have to have like some dialogue and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
To, like for the pacing and stuff. But yeah, so moving on to the World 5. The World 5, yeah.
Yeah, so now there's like the World 5. I don't recollect many of them, but I've seen so many TikToks of like comparing one of the guys to Mbappe.
Yeah, so Julian Loki is basically Mbappe, the French national guy. The English guy, who would you say the English guy is?
The English, I would imagine Phil Foden, right?
Nah, I'll say Harry Kane.
Oh, Harry Kane?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because these are all strikers.
You're right.
These are all strikers. So the Spanish guy, I don't know who the Spanish guy would be.
I mean, it's not like you're comparing him to Morata, you know what I mean? He is nowhere near Morata.
Yeah, I don't know who the Spanish. See, I don't know the Spanish and the Argentinian, but the Brazilian, I want to say he gives me like a Diego Costa type vibe. You know, physical, like a brute. Because that dude. We'll explain later on, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, so if we're basing, I mean, if it's based on all time, which kind of makes a little bit more sense, right?
Uh-huh.
For a striker, since it's more passive, it reminds me kind of like Raul.
The Spanish guy?
The Spanish guy.
Yeah.
Since he's more like a passive, because I think they explained it the way he is. He plays elegant.
Well, I think all Spanish players play elegant. That's
yeah. And obviously my personal bias comes into it because he is Spanish. Yeah, so obviously I have a bias towards him. But either way, they're all pretty cool. I mean, Loki, it's pretty obvious it's a comparison to Mbappe, because they even said, oh, he's a young 17-year-old.
Young 17-year-old that bursts out in the scene in the French league.
Yeah.
Who plays for the national team.
Exactly. Obviously. And who was that? Obviously Mbappe.
And then he just has the Mbappe hair.
I know, like, he's like literally
pretty much Mbappe. They just put Loki. Julian Loki.
Exactly.
To be fair, Loki's a sick name.
Yeah, for sure.
You know. Anyways, before the match started, the World 5, they were talking some trash. They actually made a bet. They're like, man, they're even scrawnier than I thought.
I know. Funny thing, they're all talking in English, and you know how funny it is when like Japanese people talk in English.
You know the funny part though, the Englishman, I forgot his name, something Blake. He actually sounds like proper English, obviously, because he's English.
Yeah.
But the Brazilian guy, he just sounded so funny to me. And then Rin actually confronts them. It's like, hey man, don't take us lightly.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you know how to speak English?
Yeah.
Like, they're surprised about that too.
Yeah, Isagi them in the background.
Yeah, all the entire crew.
Yeah. There's one quick thing too. So while they're spewing back and forth, there's this one scene in the manga where they left it out, because Julian Loki, he didn't speak in this episode, but in this thing when they were arguing, Julian Loki came over to Isagi and Ryu and them live
On the crew.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, sorry for the rudeness. We're usually not like this. We're actually
very professional.
You know, or like we're actually happy to play you guys. Yeah, basically being professional. And then Isagi's reaction is like, wow, he's really nice. I can't believe he's this nice and this young. And we shall see in the next episode what Julian Loki does. But there was a little glimpse of, because Isagi was like open, and out of nowhere, I'm jumping ahead. So let's just start with the match. So the match started. Isagi passes the ball to Bachira. Bachira's just dribbling. He goes past the Argentinian guy, and yeah, so Isagi was just trying to find an open space. He does find an open space, but out of nowhere, Julian Loki comes, like blocks Isagi. He's like, where did he come from? So you know his speed, super speed like Mbappe. But Bachira just crosses the ball to Reen, and then Reen, just finishes, and that's 1-0. And yeah. Pretty much it. Do you have any predictions of the outcome of that game?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I would imagine wow, it's a really tough one. I'm not really sure if they're actually gonna win, unless Isagi obviously has another breakthrough, and then the whole complexity just.
I already know the results, so I can't say my predictions because obviously the prediction will be the outcome. But from what I've seen from like the preview images of the next episode, they're gonna finish that match all in that, like the last episode. So that's a good thing, because they're pretty much, this is the next episode.
So it's not gonna be like an AOT treatment.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So they're gonna finish the World 5 match, and then they're gonna show the other teams and who progresses to the third selection or the next stage.
Yeah.
So that should be nice.
I mean, obviously the competition has dwindled down vastly now. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Either way, guys, another interesting episode for Blue Lock. As I always say, if there's any anime you would like us to talk about in specific, just let us know. We'll talk about it. Because I know eventually we'll start getting, we'll actually, very soon it's going to be Demon Slayer, is that right?
Demon Slayer, yep.
Yep, so there's going to be more animes that we're going to be spewing out, but if you want us to watch an anime in specific, because obviously we know a lot about anime, but it's just, there's a vast majority of you guys that know anime that I probably have never heard of, and you guys would probably recommend it. So if there's any anime, just let us know. My name is Maku.
Kobayashi.
And thank you.